Okay, so there are two things I would want to cover for you, all of you that are in this batch, this 20 of you that have been able to scale to the second phase before you start presenting your pitch. You are going to do a 5 minutes video of your business and 3 to 5 minutes, and then be able to convince us that that business will scale. We have uploaded a video to tell you how to get a very good business plan. They've gone through that. Mr. Ike have done that. And this is just to make you know how to put it in perspective. But the first thing I want to talk about is how to have a business name. Usually, you should make up your mind on a business name and you should go to the CAC and register your business. Now, CAC in Nigeria is Corporate Affairs Commission. Those are the body in charge in registering people's business. Now, if you want to choose a business name, you would want to make your business name beautiful and not clumsy and not difficult. You are not going to, like somebody wants to do a business name now, he wants to put all his children's name and his own name. You may now say Azubike Ijoma Ndudi Nzekwe's Enterprise Nigeria Limited. Something you want to just put everything together. I even said Enterprise Nigeria Limited. That's quite funny. So, and that calls to mind that we have two type of business names you can have. You can either have an enterprise or you have a limited liability company. An enterprise is what I would encourage many startups to do. It's okay to start as a limited liability company, though, if you have all it takes to do that. But an enterprise is more encouraging as a startup. Look at most especially if your business is something you can start alone. Sole proprietorship, we call it enterprise. A business that you are starting, just you, just your business. You don't have other people as part of it. It's called an enterprise. So you can register your business as an enterprise. So in that way, you can decide to register a business. If maybe you are into like one of the business name called Felt Empire, another business name, what was that again? Many of those business names that I uploaded, some of them are all enterprises because they are just owned by one person. Then a limited liability company is that business that when they finish registering, they will put limited, they'll put LTD there. It means that business is not owned by one person. So that kind of business will have board of directors, how many directors they have, and they also will make up their mind on how the shares are. All of those documents are going to be presented to the Corporate Affairs Commission before that business can be approved. So for a startup, to avoid all of the bureaucracies and all that, except your business must start as a limit, because there are some businesses that must have to. For example, some people are starting software development, and who has the idea is not a software developer. So they now make a deal. Okay, this person is developing, working on the back end. This other person working on the front end. This person is a marketer. So all of them come together to start that business. So that business must be a limited liability company. But if it's something only you can do, if it's something you can just be able to put up, start up, and then you get people to work for you, it's better. Just register it as an enterprise. Later on, you can upgrade to change it to a limited liability company. But please, take home point is whether you want to register it as an enterprise or like sole proprietorship, or you want to register as a limited liability company, make sure you choose a very interesting business. And there are a lot of business names that are very interesting. You see a lot of, like, one girl says Sandy Stitches, another person said Instagram, another person said Facebook, another person said Twitter, another person said BlackBerry, another person, different names, Apple. They have their names, but they decide to say Apple. Just give yourself that brand that becomes interesting, that rings a bell. But when you just call your name and you want to put all your name, Emeka, Chinedu, and Sons Nigeria Limited, it becomes too long and clumsy. It's not bad if that's what you want, but at least put some, can I call it a fizzing out to it? That will make it just fine. So that's it for the business name. Then for the pitching side of this, what you are trying to do during a pitch is to convince your listeners that your business is viable. Your business will sell. That's your major purpose. So the first thing you should do is to introduce yourself. Introduce yourself. Introduce yourself, like give your name, then you give the name of your business, then you give an overview of your business. Like, okay, I am, for example, Nzekwe Ndudi. I'm the owner of Proof Diagnostics. My business is into securing scans for pregnant women and all other persons that the doctors will require to find out whatever is the problem, to be able to make proper diagnosis in the hospital. That's basically my business. So what you have done now is to just give like an idea of what your business is, so that the first listening, somebody knows your business. Then the next thing you are trying to do in presenting the pitch, after giving an overview of your business, making us to know what business you are doing, is first of all to tell us to try to create the need for your business. Try to make us see the need for that business. We must be able to know that this business is something that people really need. Because when you would talk, we feel like this business will not sell. But let me give you an example. I want to start a diagnostic center in a city that has a population of up to 400,000 people, and there is no single scan center there. So many doctors working in that environment, in general hospitals, end up sending their patients far away to secure scan service. And what happens to patients that are coming in the night? So I have decided to put up a diagnosis center in this very city, so that it can be a point of referral for people to secure and make up for doctors to be able to know what diagnosis they are handling and be able to, treat their patient. So they are no longer traveling, they are no longer taking the risk of travel, they are no longer having to think of how to handle diagnosis in the midnight because they have to travel to another city to secure the scan. So I'm putting up this scan center in this place so that we'll be able to, handle that deficiency. Now, anybody that listens to this will be able to know that, okay, there is a market need and there is a value proposer. This guy is trying to breach a market need. And when you are able to convince that market need is there, and then that value, you are proposing a value, so people will buy. Whatever sells in the market is a value you are proposing. Nobody, like we've seen a lot of businesses, they want to do what everybody is doing. Usually, people are more interested when it's an innovation. If you bring up an innovation and nobody has done it before, it usually will sell. Most especially if there is that market need for it, it will fat. It's a bomb. But now, if you are going to do what other people are doing, you may also want to push in that even if many people are doing this in everywhere, but in the location where I want to do it, that service is not there. And then if the service is there in that location where you are doing it, you want to check, is the people rendering that service in that location, are they able to handle the market need for that location? Is there an overwhelming market for that thing you are doing? Because the truth be said, if you are going to do a business that is overflowed, everybody does it, is so much, everybody is begging for clients, everybody is begging for customers, and you want to join that competition, yes, you are going to have a business, yes, you are going to struggle with the business, yes, the only way you may now succeed in that business is when you now start going the extra mile, to start thinking of something else you are going to do about the business. That's where you are now going to be talking about how you will now handle competitors. And all of this is now going to be factored in. Those are the things that will now convince your listeners that this business will scale. Because you have a lot of competitors to handle. And then all of them are all doing well. And then you are coming as a starter into this very turbulent market. You must be coming with something innovative on how to conquer the existing competitors. And when you are able to be convincing, fine, anybody would accept it. So you must make sure that you so speak for us to see the market gap you are blocking, or if the market is already crowded, you must be seen to be giving us how to handle your competitors and how you think you can be on top. But if you are going to be saying things that regularly everybody knows that everybody does it, for example, I'm going to do fashion design, I'm going to make sure I sew my clothes very fine, I'm going to make sure I meet up with target. Everybody does that. Everybody makes sure they sew their clothes fine. Everybody makes sure they meet up with target. Everybody does that. So you must be seen to say something. Maybe you want to do something like that. I noticed that a lot of people watch these Indian films a lot of homes watching that film. And I have noticed that across, I just checked my internet and I saw that the how many thousand people, you just list it, watch so Indian film, and the clothes in this Indian film, some people would want to have it, but it's not the regular sew around here. So I've been able to do some training on the sew, and I want to start sewing some Indian wears for my Nigerian market. People will look like it like, man, this is innovative. Many people want to try it out. And yes, you are coming into a business that already exists, but people will want to check to see if looks like this thing will sell. So you must be able to sell some, you must be able to say something that will attract somebody to believe that this business will work. Then finally, beyond just convincing people that the business will work, beyond pushing your value proposal so strong enough as to make people accept it, people want to look at the numbers, they want to look at the finances. How does this your business make money? It's not enough to convince people that business will sell. They are looking for the business in your value proposal. So you must say that. In fact, it's part of what you must say when you are pitching. Okay, you propose to have this business, and this is your startup capital. Look at your proposed market that you have studied and say that this market is available, and look at what is your individual sales that will accumulate into a particular sale, and this is your projected sale. And it must be real, it must be factual. If you are going to be selling if you are doing a very small business and you are projecting 100 million, 200 million, they will know that you are not realistic, you are not genuine. Nobody would believe that it will work. But you be very sincere with your numbers, be very original. You are coming into a business where there are so many people. In fact, if it is possible, we used to tell them, practice with the least possible number. For example, you want to start selling clothes, for example. I know the clothes market is already filled up, and there's nothing innovative about your clothes. You just want to do the regular thing everybody does. And then you are making your calculations. You now say, I believe I'll be doing 200 clothes every day. It will not work. Nobody will accept that from you. But if you start with something like, with my pressure marketing, and I'm going to be doing door to door, going carrying my clothes around, I think in a day I should be able to sell out 2 clothes in a day. The least I can sell is 2 clothes a day. And the profit I'm making by selling 2 clothes a day is, when I sell 1 cloth, I make a profit of 5,000. And if I do 2 clothes, I make a profit of 10,000. Because I'm going to get the clothes from where it is very cheap, maybe from Onitsha for 20,000. I'm going to be selling them for 30,000 or 35,000, whatever. Now, if this is your profit, and this is the least you think you can go, from calculation in 30 days, I think I can make up to 400,000 in 30 days. And in a year, I think I can be able to. And I think as people keep knowing me and I keep advertising online and I keep dropping my cards in houses, I think people will be beginning to call me. I'm going to increase sale. Maybe by from 2 clothes daily, I may increase sale to like 4 clothes a day. You are talking with the least possible. Any reasonable person will say, this looks like it will work. This will work. Because you are realistic, you are genuine. But if you say, I hope to sell 200 clothes a day, and people that have been in business before, you have not been able to sell up to 5 a day. So you have to be very realistic and put your plans very well. This thing I just said is what we call the financial projections. This is very important. This is where you actually know if the business is a business. So you must mention it if you are making your pitch. And then you finally summarize. You summarize by just going over, this is my business. Once again, a fashion design business aimed at sorting out special needs in different outings or whatever, with a financial projection with a startup capital of this, financial projection of this. You know, that's kind of a picture gives people to know that, okay, this guy at least has touched some things in his pitching. Because there is a way some people come and pitch. Why we decided to make this video is that some people just come and talk. Like in the business plan we told some people to do, some people were actually begging for money in the business plan. We say, write the business plan, you are begging for money. Why are you begging for money in a business plan? We didn't tell you come and beg for money. We say, write a business. We want to see if we can support somebody with a genuine business that can create employment, employ people, and then, from there, let's have like a, how do we call it now? Like a, what do we call that effect? It's not a ripple effect. I'm trying to remember what we call it. As this affects this, and then it goes on that way. That's what we are trying to do. We don't want it to be like we're just looking for people that are looking for money. They will just say anything they like. We just give them money. We we have noticed that people that don't have true businesses don't do well with money. If you give them money, come back after 2 years, they are poor. In fact, if you give someone who doesn't have any idea on business 10 million naira, you are going to visit him in 2 years' time and he's going to be very poor. But give somebody who has an entrepreneurial mind 1 million naira, after 10 years, visit that person, you'll be surprised at what you're going to see. These are the mentalities we have. That's why we are thinking to look at, watch out for those that have the business mind and see what we can do. Bless you.